Hodge family, it's time for us to stand up and show the world who we are. Give me an H.
H. Give me an O.
O. Give me a D.
D. Give me a D. G.
Give me a E.
E.
What is that spell? What is that spell? What is that spell? What is that spell? What is that spell?
Ah.
Give me an H.
H. Give me an O.
O.
Give me a D.
D. Give me a D. G.
Give me a E.
E.
What is that spell? What is that spell? What is that spell? What is that spell? What is that spell?
Ah.
Give me an H.
H. Give me an O.
O.
Give me a D.
D. Give me a D. G.
Give me an E.
All right. So my name is Michael Taylor, and I am the founder and the creator of the Hodge Forever Series. This is a series where we have a conversation with some of our trailblazers of the Hodge family, descendants of Richard and Maddie Hodge, based out of Tennessee. Our next guest on the Hodge Forever Series is a mother, a leader, a sister, the oldest of her siblings, a former teacher in Memphis, Tennessee. You're making me blush. She is the secretary of the Memphis Hodge Family Reunion Chapter, the great-great-granddaughter of Richard and Maddie Hodge, the granddaughter of Calvin and Lucretia Hodge, and also the daughter of our founder, Lila Rivers. She is also the current secretary of Memphis Hodge Family Reunion Chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, Elaine Smith.
Hey!
Yeah, I saw you raise your finger. What were you raising your finger for?
Can I make a correction? Is it too late to do that?
It's never too late.
Because y'all call my mother Lila Bell.
Okay.
Her name was Lila Bell.
Newsflash.
Okay.
Bell was her nickname. I didn't know if y'all knew that or not.
I don't. So tell me exactly what's her. So
Her birth name was Lila Mae Hodge.
Okay.
I didn't know if y'all knew that.
Where do we get Bell from? Where does the nickname Bell come from?
Bell is her nickname.
Do you know where Bell, the nickname,
I
came
was
from?
told when she was a little girl that there was this Caucasian lady who she favored, who had a cow, and the cow wore a bell, and that's why they started calling my mother Bell.
Okay,
and that's what I've been told.
Okay,
so that's where Bell came from, because the cow wore a bell.
Okay,
so they started calling my mother favored this lady. So they started calling my mother Bell. So that's where Bell was involved or instituted into as part of her nickname.
But yes, so like for me, like I have some interesting nicknames. Like I think one of my nicknames is Bloomahead. Yes, I got that from somebody put a pair of underwear on my head when I was a little boy. But that's my godmom Glory. That's a story there. And then I also have Little Mike and different things. Jerice, you have a nickname. What is your nickname?
My nickname is Pumpkin.
Her nickname is Pumpkin. Do you know where you got that nickname from?
I believe I got it from my granddad, and it could have been because of...
He couldn't say Jerice.
Okay.
The reason my mother used to call me Pumpkin.
Okay.
A Pumpkin. My Aunt Jean still calls me Pumpkin.
Pumpkin, okay.
Okay. My grandfather, when Jerice was born, could not say Jerice. And he heard my mother call me Pumpkin. He said, well, I'm just going to call her Pumpkin.
Okay.
So that's where she got Pumpkin came from me originally, because my mother called me Pumpkin.
Okay. So now you know where your nickname originally came from. And also with this interview, I'm sorry I'm doing a horrible job. I also have Jerice Fame, my sister. She's going to be accompanying me. So this is her first time doing some interviews. So you guys make sure you are nice and be nice to her with that. But back to Miss Elaine Smith. So did you like your introduction?
Loved it.
You did?
Thank
I saw
you.
you over here. You had me in the corner of my eye. I was trying to stay focused in the zone and the emotions and different things like that.
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
We are excited to be here with you. And thank you for doing this. I know this is a little different, having mics and lights and computers and different audio devices recorded. But the impact that you've had on the family is so important, and we want to make sure that it's documented, of just some of the work that you've done with the Hodge family, not only with the reunions, but just bringing our family together. We want to make sure that that's documented for our family to see for years to come.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to relax.
Okay.
And we're going to have fun.
Yeah,
and we're just going to talk just a regular conversation as what family would normally do.
Okay.
All right. So let's start from the beginning, right? So tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me where you grew up. And let's start there.
Okay. I was born in Covington, Tennessee.
Covington, okay.
Yeah, Covington, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
At the home, I guess in the Covington Hospital, I believe it was. My mother always told me I had to be rushed from the home in Mason to Covington to be born.
Mm-hmm.
The oldest of 4 daughters.
Okay.
To Curtis Rivers
Okay.
and Lila Mae Hodge Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where I was born, and I was always raised here in Memphis all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Educated here in Memphis. Worked always here in Memphis, and
Mm-hmm.
retired in Memphis.
Nice. Memphis, the forever rep in Memphis.
Absolutely,
I love that.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So let's go back and talk about your mom and dad. So
Sure.
your mom is Lila Mae
Mm-hmm.
Rivers, and her husband was Curtis Rivers there.
Correct.
And of course, many of you know that to me, we call her Aunt Belle, but Miss Lila was a really, as I say it, she was a lady that had it going on. She was about her family. She was also an entrepreneur. And I believe at one point your dad and mom were both entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about the impact they had on the community as entrepreneurs? And well, let's start there. What type of businesses did they have?
My father was a mechanic.
He was a mechanic.
He was a foreign car mechanic, one of the first foreign car mechanics in the city of Memphis.
Okay.
Self-taught.
Wow.
He was educated through some programs that the job offered him, and he did attend those and became a certified foreign car specialist.
Nice.
Owned his own business too, as a matter of fact. We started out in our backyard.
Okay.
You bobbing your head like you remember.
I remember.
Our backyard used to be filled with Volkswagens. I mean,
That's what he specialized in.
That's what he specialized.
Okay.
In fact, it started back in the 60s.
Wow. Okay.
With Volkswagens. He worked for Jimmy Payne Volkswagen, was their head foreign car specialist, and Mr. Payne trusted my dad so that they stocked cars in our backyard.
Wow. Overflow cars from
the dealership.
Wow. That's a lot of trust.
Right. They were held in our backyard.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, my dad used to work on the car on Volkswagens here in our backyard in that very same garage out there. And the business grew so they decided to quit the job and open up his own foreign car repair shop.
Wow, that's awesome.
Northside Foreign Car Repair. Very well known in the community. Helped everybody, was there for everybody, and everybody knew it. Okay. And everybody, because we were on this corner, we were kind of like centralized, and everybody knew where he lived, and we've been in this particular home 60 years.
Wow.
So we were pretty well known in the community as far as that is concerned. My mother they owned several businesses. They had Rivers One Stop.
Okay, so what's Rivers? I don't think I know where Rivers One Stop.
It was on Chelsea. It was a small sundry, what they called back in the day a sundry on Chelsea.
What's a sundry?
Like a little pickup store if you need something. It wasn't a major shopping venue or anything like that, but if you needed some potato chips or some snacks or something brief in the house, they sold it. They went from there to, that was Northside Sundry, I think is what I just said. That was Rivers One Stop. They left there and went to Northside Sundry, which was up on Chelsea, right there, corner Chelsea and Boxwood. After that, they decided then, my mom decided, well, I'm just tired of doing this kind of work. I'm going to do what I want. And she decided to open Lila Flowers.
Okay.
Which was a floral shop. And she was very well known in this community for her flowers and flower arrangements and her business ethic. So they were pretty much, very in tune into the community and its needs, and everybody they ever needed anything, wanted anything, they always turned to my parents to get that information or whatever needs to be met.
Yeah, and I think that, looking back at that, two Black entrepreneurs in Memphis, Tennessee during the 1960s, 70s, that's huge. You know what I mean? We're coming, we've been having conversations with other family members, but just speaking through times of segregation and just trying to make it in the South being Black. And then now you have two Black people, individuals, a couple. One is has their own mechanic shop and the other is pursuing that. That's really great there.
Did they also have a hair store?
No, my brother-in-law was the owner of that, of their faith. But they were all in the same building together. There was a floral shop, a barber shop, and my father's mechanic shop were in the same building.
Oh, y'all had the whole block, the whole corner, the whole building.
The whole corner.
Nice. That's good.
It is.
That's definitely Black excellence. So that's amazing there. Entrepreneur, your mother's an entrepreneur, and she's also the founder of the Hodge Family Reunion. And I guess since we're on the topic of your mom, let's just go ahead and just discuss some of the impact that your mom had on there. So this year will make the 36th time that we have done this family reunion. Originally started in 1980. So talk to me about just how that, just watching your mom on the sidelines doing the planning for the family reunion in the initial there, like, do you remember any of that?
Absolutely, because I was there with her from day one.
Okay.
The formulation of the family reunion really began years and years when my mother was a child. At a very young age, her mother passed, and that left my grandfather with 7 daughters. Being a single man with 7 daughters, I'm sure it was hard for him. But my mother was just 7 years old when her mother died, and her oldest sister, Auntie Mena, was only 14. So that's a single man, as I said before, trying to struggle with 7.
7 is a lot.
A lot of girls.
And they're all girls.
And he needed some support from family since his wife had recently passed. So therefore, relatives stepped in to help him raise these girls, you know. So that's family. And those families came with cousins and whatever to my grandfather's house every Sunday. So my mother always told us that she always had 3 sets of first cousins. Her white first cousins, her Hodge first cousins, and her Frost first cousins. And every Sunday, they met at my grandfather's house as a big family, you know. So family has always been a part of my mom's legacy and her being, and just that love for family and, you know, just a family-oriented person. And she wanted to continue that. She longed for that as the years went on. Everybody got grown and moved on to their own, you know, to develop their own families and whatever. But she still longed for that family connection, you know, that she always grew up with in her family. So in 1979, even though she still maintained contact with all facets of our family, in 1979, she said, you know what, I'm just going to pull all this together and develop a family reunion. That's what we did. 79 was a lot going on. She had her family. We were moving on through school, graduated from college and high schools and all this kind of stuff. And she said, you know what, I just want my family. I want to have a family reunion. So in 1979, that's when we started talking about a family reunion, formulating a committee from first cousins. I mean, she had Hodge first cousins, she had White first cousins, and she had Frost first cousins as the development of the first family reunion, because that's what she grew up with those cousins. And that's how it got started. And she was over it. She's always been a leader, was always a leader, very outspoken, would tell you where to get on and where to get off it too. So, so, you know, we had to do what she said do, because that's her personality. So we developed the family reunion. She was going to be the president, we had no other choice, okay? So, and that we just supported her and all the efforts and everything that she wanted, and she envisioned our family coming together.
Nice. That is really impactful. I mean, the first reunions in 1980. We're here now in 2024. So, do you think that your mom at that time believed that the reunion was going to continue to happen?
Absolutely.
Right now?
Absolutely. She loved family. That's why we did it every year. Every year. We didn't miss a beat. She was ready to organize, and then selling it on to other family members in other cities. Because I think we had it maybe a couple of times in Memphis before we moved. I think the next city was Lansing after that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then maybe after that we went to Buffalo. And then maybe after that we went to Cleveland. It was just that circle of cities for a period of time before we branched out into Nashville or Chicago and even Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. So the first reunion's in Memphis, Tennessee, and then it jumps to Lansing, Buffalo, goes back to Memphis,
right,
and then Cleveland and Lansing.
Absolutely.
And in most family reunions, we don't see that it bounces from city to city to city. Who came up with the idea to have the reunion being hosted in different cities?
Well, because we had family members in different cities, and we had such a good time at the ones that we had here in Memphis that committee members were formed in the other cities where there were, cousins. So they took it on. I mean, I think the majority of her siblings were in Lansing at that time, so they took it on. And then after that, ICB said, "Hey, y'all need to come to Buffalo," and she always showed out real well in Buffalo. And then after that, Cleveland said, "We'll take it in." We have cousins in Cleveland. We'll take it in Cleveland, and that circle went on for several years. And then the younger generation popped up and said, "Hey, well, we might as well go to Nashville now, y'all."
Nashville.
So, and that's how we got started as far as the circle of cities and then the branching out to other cities. And as up to today, I know a couple of people in other cities that say, "Yeah, I want the family reunion to come here." H-Town.
Yes, H-Town. Okay. I think, honestly, the family reunion at this point it's not really a centralized of a place. It's wherever you make it at, right? And I think we've had reunions in a lot of these cities. I would love for us to try new cities. Maybe go somewhere that we haven't been, and we all just meet there and we explore that city together with that. And I think wherever we are all fellowshipping together, then that's family, and that can be a reunion.
Right. We 2011 we took a cruise.
Okay.
Some family members, not everybody, but we were all. That was one of our off years for our normal family reunion. So we decided we go on a cruise, and we had a family member from Buffalo to organize that, and several of us took a cruise together.
Nice, that's awesome.
Mike, I believe you were on that cruise with us that year too.
I was. We had a great time on the cruise.
We sure did.
Yes. So now that we're talking about great time and family reunions, what is your favorite family reunion and why? My
favorite family reunion, there are too many to count to name specifically. However, I do have one where I never will forget it. Buffalo.
Okay. Buffalo
we always charter buses. We've always, for several years, chartered buses to travel from Tennessee. And we were going to Buffalo. And we pulled up at ICB's house in a chartered bus. Of course, knowing her.
When you say we, now how many people is we?
We're talking 40 people on a bus.
40 hungry people.
40 hungry people on a bus.
Because from Memphis to Buffalo
it's quite a ride.
It's quite a ride. Probably like 16, 17 hours.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Even though we've had fun all the way up and down the highway, praise God for our traveling grace and mercy. But when we got to ICB's house on Bissell. And unloaded that bus with all 40 of us on there hungry. Of course, and she had the spread just out. I mean, that was one of the best arrivals I've experienced, to see all these people get off on that little thin, tiny street, Bissell, this great big 40 passenger bus. And people standing around looking at us like, wow, all those people getting off this bus.
And she like, come on in, y'all, come on in.
Absolutely.
Have a seat.
Absolutely. Her hospitality was top notch. She had everything in place. It was just coming on in. Of course, she had every delicacy it was to have and every kind of food to eat.
Yep.
That was one of the greatest experiences that I've had. And even though I've had many, and we have chartered many buses. So that was a great.
Yeah. I think that says something about Aunt Ozzie B. We were just there at Aunt Ozzie B's house. Was it last week? Maybe 2 weeks ago. And we were just kind of walking through her upstairs, her attic, and she has this wall of just mountains of pictures and pictures. Have you seen it?
I've seen it, yes.
Oh my gosh, it is like breathtaking because it's scrapbooking to the million, literally, with that. So
she loves family.
She definitely loved her family, and just being able to hear that she allowed 40 people to pop up that had been on the bus for hours and hours, come in, and she was there to do that. That says a lot about our family.
Absolutely.
A lot of people really enjoy the bus rides to Buffalo, and you're not the first person to say that has been one of their favorite experiences.
Absolutely.
And I've experienced a bus ride with that, but I was young. But it sounds like I wish that I was the age that I am now, because I heard y'all was kicking it on the bus
every time. We had some characters on that bus. We had a navigator.
What do you mean a navigator? Somebody tried to drive the bus?
No, he never tried, but he let us know he was the navigator on that bus, and that was Zach Taylor.
Okay.
Bebe's husband.
Okay.
Oh, we had some fun. We had fun with Herschel, Doc.
Okay, yeah.
Boogie, Chester. I mean, just laughter up and down the highway. Moody, Rogers Terry. I mean, just kept us in stitches the entire time, every mile on the highway from Memphis to wherever we were going. If they were on that bus, we were rolling and rocking.
And I mean, that even says something too about the family. Like, y'all traveling in style. Y'all didn't charter a bus, and all of the families on there, and y'all having a good time to do that. Y'all take off for the weekend and being able just to enjoy everybody with that.
Every time we thank God for the traveling grace and mercy that he bestowed upon us. We never had an accident. Got there safely, got back safely through the grace of God, and just had a ball every mile of the way.
Every mile of the way. All right, so Elaine.
Yes.
So now we're gonna play a game, right?
Okay.
Oh, let me backtrack. So out of all of the reunions, how many have you attended?
All except for one.
All except for one. Okay.
No, let me take that back. All except for two.
Two. Okay. Which is the last two?
I didn't go to the 22. Reunion. Okay. And I didn't go to 81.
81. Okay.
I think it was in Lansing.
In Lansing. Yep. You got it. Okay. So with that being said, this game should be pretty easy for you. So this game is going to be called How Well Do You Know Your Hodge Family Reunions? You're going to have three different selections. I'm going to name a year, and you have to tell me what city. Why is your face looking like that? What city the reunion was in.
Okay.
And out of the three questions, you have one hint. Okay? You can do it. You just named 81 for Lansing, and then you said the 2022. I have faith in you that you're going to be able to do this.
I'll do my best.
All right, so our first reunion is going to be 1998. Where was the family reunion in 1998? It's okay. Remember, you have one hint out of the three, and you have a lot of different cities that you can choose from.
98, Chicago.
Now, how did you, like, it just hit you at once?
I remember 98 was the year of the, I think, hurricane. What was that hurricane called, y'all? Hurricane Katrina.
Okay.
It was 97, 98, somewhere in there. It was Hurricane Katrina. And I also remember Princess Diana. Was that year also. I remember watching that on television, and we were in Chicago.
Great job. Very good. All right, let's go with number 2. And remember, you still have a hint available as well.
Thank you.
Joyce, pick one and just point to it, or actually go ahead and give her the year.
Okay, so what about year 1997?
You gonna make her go back that far back? Okay. She making it tough for you.
That was it wasn't Chicago. Well, let's see. We were still doing year to year in 97.
Year to year. 97.
I know 97, 98, one of those was Chicago. 97, I need a hint.
Okay. Give her a hint.
Cleveland.
You got it. You didn't need a hint.
What happened to I need a hint?
Because I'm thinking, I'm trying to matriculate.
And it's working well.
Yeah. Whatever you're doing.
And I can look like in that particular reunion, the location, we were at a park where there was a bobsled. And we were in a cabin.
Is that the year we had a softball game?
Yes.
North against the South?
May have been, yes. I said that may have been the first one. Softball game that I can remember.
Well, that's good. Congratulations. So right now you are 2-0. So you definitely are killing this game. I'm going to have to make this a little bit harder. So let me pick this question this time because she is doing well.
Let's go with 1983.
Okay, let's go with 1983. So where was why did you pick 1983? What's significant
because
about that?
I was
year?
expecting Curtis in 1983. And that year, true story.
Yes.
My grandmother Roxy, we did a riverboat cruise here in Memphis that year. And I couldn't go because I was too pregnant. I think I was 9 months pregnant with Curtis. And Mama Rox told me I couldn't go because she was afraid I would have little Curtis on the boat because of the waves and the rocking of the boat. And my Roxy told me I could not go. I never will forget that one.
You're right. 1983. So you are definitely doing a great job with this. And you know your family reunions and you know your family, which is really amazing. So this year is going to mark the 36th time that we have had an organized family reunion with that. And it's something that we've been doing since 1980. And it's a really powerful, organized setting that we have for our family. So if you have to leave a message for your family going forward in regards of the family reunion, and just a lasting message as far as family in general, what would you say?
Love each other. Support each other. Be there for one another. Pray for one another. You know, we've been blessed these 36 years, no, more than 36 years.
More than 36.
For each of these reunions with no major family issues at all. Continue that. Continue the legacy that our family is involved in. Be steadfast. Keep God first. Above all, more than anything else, love each other.
Well, once again, I just want to take the time out as a member of the younger generation of the Hodge family reunion, and just being able to have experienced time sitting back, watching you all lead from just the sidelines and just learning what not to do, what to do, what's expected of you, and just seeing you all run businesses and just take care of things, organizing. We're going to do things in, as your mom used to say, we're going to do things in order.
Decent
and in order.
It has to be done decent.
Decent and in order. And I think that's something that has definitely been passed down to us.
Sure enough, as she would say.
She would say showing up.
Showing up.
Showing up. I loved it. But no, we just honestly we just wanted to really do this and have it documented and just let you know that your hard work doesn't go unnoticed. We appreciate everything that you've done for the family, the hard work, the dedication, the sleepless nights, the travel, just the dealing with unique, as we'll say, unique situations with family, and just still being able to love on them even after everything. So
It's all been out of love for my family and the legacy that my mother started that I hope continues to move forward in our family for years to come.
Yes, definitely. We're making ways to do that. Now that I'm a part of this, I'm going to do my part to make sure things continue, and we take the technology and the things that are going on now and we continue to elevate and continue to keep us united and built together.
Great.
So with that being said, we love you.
Love you.
We appreciate you, and thank you for this time.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
All right. Thank you, Elaine.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Elaine.
Y'all did good. I'm so proud of y'all. Y'all gonna make me cry.
No
I
crying on
enjoyed it.
this.
I
this
enjoyed it.
not today.
I enjoyed it. Are we finished recording?
We are done.
Hodge family, it's time for us to stand up and show the world who we are. Give me an H.
A. Give me a O.
Give me a D.
D. Give me a D. G.
Give me an E.
E.
What is that spell? What is that spell? What is that spell? What is that spell? What is that spell?
Give me an H.
A. Give me a O.
Give me a D.
D. Give me a D. G.
Give me an E.
E.
What is that spell? What is that spell? What is that spell? What is that spell? What is that spell?
Give me an H.
H. Give me a O.
Give me a D.
D. Give me a